The video you're about to see is a training guide, which will teach you how to operate the Reflex ACT Core Orientation Tool. The Reflex ACT is a fully electronic core orientation device for use in diamond exploration drilling. The Reflex ACT has been specifically designed to orientate accurately and consistently in soft and broken ground without the need to alter the driller's existing drilling technique. Because the tool orientates while the drilling takes place, there is no need to stop drilling to orientate. The benefits that you will achieve by using the Reflex ACT are more meters drilled, consistently accurate orientation data, reduced costs of use, high-quality mine planning data in and out of the ore body. This video will teach you how to prepare the barrel for operation of the ACT, how to include the ACT in the inner tube, how to arm the ACT before use, how to retrieve accurate and consistent orientations. Firstly, we will demonstrate how to prepare the barrel for use. A standard diamond drilling barrel assembly may consist of the following: a locking coupling, a back-end reamer or adapter coupling, a standard or hex drilling barrel, the front-end reamer, the diamond drilling bit. The supplied barrel extension must be fitted at the front of the drilling barrel between the front-end reamer and drilling barrel. To install the barrel extension to the front of the drilling barrel, remove the front-end reamer and drill bit from the drilling barrel. Install the barrel extension to the front of the drilling barrel. Refit the front-end reamer and drill bit to the barrel extension and tighten as per normal drilling practice. The drilling barrel is now ready for drilling. Preparing the inner back-end assembly. To prepare the inner tube back-end assembly to include the Reflex ACT, follow these steps. Remove the inner tube back-end assembly from the inner tube grease cap. Then remove the inner tube grease cap from the inner tube and place in a safe place, as it is not required for drilling operations while the Reflex ACT is being used. Fit the supplied grease cap extension to the back-end assembly and tighten as per your normal drilling practice. The supplied grease cap replacement will still perform the greasing function for the back-end assembly. We are now ready to insert the Reflex ACT to the inner tube. The ACE core tool can now be attached to the inner tube and tightened as per normal drilling practice. The ACT is pressure rated to 3,500 meters, and in order to maintain this rating, the O-rings will require inspection after each drilling run. Replace worn or damaged O-rings as required using the supplied spares and keep lubricated with the supplied lubricant. The LCD face panel is water resistant only and should not be submerged in liquid without being connected to the supplied grease cap. Like all orientation systems, the Reflex ACT must be armed before use. If the Reflex ACT is not armed, no new orientation information will be recorded and the memory will not be cleared from the previous run. To arm the Reflex ACT, simply press and hold down the N key until 3/8 appear on the screen. When the 3/8 appear on the screen, the stopwatch must be started immediately. Once it is started, place the stopwatch in a safe place. Once the Reflex ACT is armed, the back-end assembly can be attached to the Reflex ACT and tightened using your normal drilling practice. The inner tube assembly can now be run into the rod string by either of the following methods: using the dry release method or by dropping from the surface. The inner tube can now be pumped down as per your normal drilling practice. At the end of the drilling run, before breaking off bottom and before retrieval of the inner tube, the following method must be followed. Stop thrust and rotation. View the stopwatch, and at the completion of the current minute, stop the stopwatch. Record the time displayed on the stopwatch, which indicates the final minute of the run. This time will be entered into the Reflex ACT to retrieve the required orientation information. The bottom hole assembly can now be pulled off the bottom and the core broken. The inner tube can now be retrieved. Remove the back-end assembly from the Reflex ACT to expose the face panel. Do not remove the ACT from the inner tube yet. To retrieve the orientation, press the R button once. 3 zeros will appear. The tool is asking the operator to input the final minute of the drilling run, which was recorded earlier from the stopwatch. Enter the final minute into the Reflex ACT by pressing the plus button. Every time the button is pressed, the time increases by 1 minute. If you go past the required minute, simply press the minus button to decrease the number of minutes. Every time the button is pressed, the time decreases by 1 minute. Once you have entered the final minute of the run, which was recorded from the stopwatch, press the R button again. Rotating bars will appear. These represent two sides of a square. The direction they are turning is the direction the tool should be rotated in order to reach the bottom of hole position. As the tool approaches the bottom of hole orientation, the bars will slow down and, upon reaching bottom of hole orientation, a full square will appear on the face panel. If the tool is rotated past the bottom of hole orientation, the bars will change direction, indicating that the operator must now rotate the tool and attached inner tube in the opposite direction to form a full square and identify bottom of hole orientation. With the formation of a full square on the display panel, the bottom of hole orientation is identified. In this position, bottom of hole orientation is always the side of the inner tube closest to the ground. The core can now be marked with the use of the provided jig. To transfer bottom hole orientation to the core, place the provided marking jig underneath the lifter case. Ensure the bubble is between the black vertical lines, which indicate the marking jig is level. Place the marking pencil into the V-groove of the marking jig and place a mark on the bottom of the core. Bottom hole orientation has now been transferred to the core. The Reflex ACT can be removed from the inner tube and the inner tube emptied. If an inner break is present or the core could be damaged during removal, the following method should be used. In the same manner that an outer break would be marked, mark the lifter case, then remove the lifter case from the inner tube. Using a straight edge, transfer orientation to the inside section of core. The orientation is now protected. Screw the lifter case back onto the inner tube and empty as per your normal method.